Okay, draft minutes of the meeting the 17th of June 2015. They've been circulated to members. Are the minutes of that meeting agreed? Senator Daly.
Chairman. Just in relation to the correspondence we received from the family of Ibrahim Halawi, and I know that Amnesty are coming in to talk about their annual report, but also in relation to the discrepancies between what we have been told by our Department of Foreign Affairs and information that the Halawi family have given us regarding the torture of Ibrahim and the lack of medical treatment and assistance that he received, and also the conditions in the prison. And I know that you have asked the Egyptian authorities that we would go out and visit them, and I don't know, is there an update on that? But I suppose the concerning issue on this is that there is a Canadian national who was released having been put on trial, and then he was not found guilty.
I don't want to have a discussion now.
No, but what I would ask the chairman to get is a brief on the fact that he is actually released on bail. Now, he's released on bail terms that he must remain in Egypt. He is still in Egypt. He cannot get a passport.
Yeah, but I don't want to go into in-depth discussion.
We were told that Ibrahim couldn't be released.
The minutes now we're speaking on, not on the actual
discussion. But what I'm asking is, what is the situation in relation to, like, with the minutes were agreed, but it was also agreed that we would get on to the Egyptians. Have they come back to us?
No.
And secondly, there's another item on the minutes in relation to the Justice for the Forgotten and the Relatives for Justice and the Good Friday Agreement Committee, and whether or not we're going to have a joint meeting with them, because obviously it was brought up in the Dáil yesterday, and the Taoiseach was over in London, and I congratulated him on releasing the files in relation to the Kings Mills massacre and whatever information we have, but we're still looking for the British Prime Minister to hand over files in relation to the Dublin Monaghan bombings, and we don't seem to be any nearer getting to the truth of that issue, or whether or not we're going to get the files at all, despite resolutions from all parties.
Okay, two issues there, Senator Daly, thanks for that. Sorry, I just didn't want to get into in-depth discussion at this stage because it's in the correspondence. In relation to the Halawi case, as you know, we have no updates since last week. We've been on to the department, we've been in touch, we have met the Egyptian ambassador personally in relation to this request, which was brought forward by the committee here, and we have had no correspondence since. But we'll follow up on that maybe before the next meeting. Is that okay?
Yeah.
In relation to the Relatives for Justice, I understand the Good Friday Agreement are meeting tomorrow on this, and they'll be discussing it. So both clerks have been asked to as requested. So we hope to have something back tomorrow on that from their point of view as well. They are the main committee for this. And obviously, we have, as requested, the committee have expressed an interest in this. So we'll discuss it with them tomorrow. Okay, after they've discussed it at their meetings.
Accept that. That's grand. Thank you for that.
Point yourself and the other chairman are discussing it, and maybe the clerks as well. In relation to that, Dáil motions have been passed. Shannon motions have been passed about the release of the files in relation to the Dublin Monaghan bombings. I think it would be appropriate that we would have a joint hearing with those who have done programmes, RT, Panorama and others, but also that we should look at going to the relevant committee jointly, the Foreign Affairs Committee and the Good Friday Agreements, over to Westminster, to whichever committee is appropriate, to bring our concerns and our demands in relation to the release of those files to whatever people in Westminster have to hear it, and whatever committee has to hear it, because we have had motions passed and we have had nothing but platitudes from the British government, and it's time that the MPs heard about what their government had been involved in relation to the
It's going to be on next week. Okay, so we'll discuss it next week one way or the other. Okay.